Alright, so you're currently watching part 4. You've just started watching part 4 of Project 3 Task 2 Job Planner. So in the previous 3 videos we've been preparing this job planner as per the task requirements. In the last video we went through and entered in all of the details for each column heading, okay, for each of the tasks. We also prioritized the tasks, assigned them or gave them their time value, and used the sum formula to total up all of the time it takes. So we know that if we were to go ahead and actually run through and do all these jobs, it would take us 345 minutes. 345 minutes. I'll show you some tricks at the end. Because it's in minutes, that's not necessarily helpful. So I'll show you how to turn it into hours. But that is obviously, that's an extra thing. That's an extra thing to do. We will continue today in this session to go through the style guide. We highlighted in previous videos some of the things that we need to ensure that we do, that we haven't done yet. So like formatting numbers, because at the time we didn't have any numbers in the table, so we need to format numbers. The portfolio also tells us that we need to put in a chart, and there are some directions there on what we need to do for a chart, and also to prepare this document for printing. Very commonly spreadsheets are they are the type of document that gets printed. Okay, they are the type of document that gets printed, which is why it's good to view. If you're looking at your job planner and it doesn't look like mine, or it doesn't, or say it looks like this rather, okay. If you go to the View tab and change to Page Layout, you'll be able to see what is on each individual page. Okay, so you can see that there's pages next to and below this, and that's a really good way to just understand and keep all your work on the single page, on the one page, rather than it going over into other pages and kind of not looking good. So we're going to continue on now, and we're going to check our portfolio for where we're at, and if there's any content that we haven't yet covered as per the instructions. So we've gone through each of the jobs, each of the tasks, and we've added these. The missed parts in each of these jobs were the priority. I'll zoom in just a bit. Was the question about priority. What is the priority? And we discussed that and went through that and have assigned a priority for each task. Okay, we've assigned a priority for each task. Going down as well, each of these tasks has been added. We know our working hours are 8:30 to 5 p.m. That's something to note. Continuing on, the first point here, I'll just turn off the paragraph markers. The first point here, create your spreadsheet in accordance with the style guide. Now we have been doing that. We've been going through each individual point. We haven't quite finished yet. We've got these highlighted sections that we still need to finish doing. So we'll cross that one out when we're done. We've created the column headings. We've done our priorities. We've completed the job description. We've allocated resources, and we've allocated the time needed, and we've also used the sum function to total those up. So the last things that we need to do as per this document is obviously finish the style guide, sort your jobs list based on priority and deadline, so based on your priority, and create a chart showing your jobs and the time allocated for each job in accordance with the style guide extract for spreadsheets. So first thing I'm going to do is this point here of sort your jobs. Now the hard way to do this would be to copy, paste, and move each of these individually. Okay, that's a very time-consuming job. It's a very time-consuming job. However, though, Excel has a sort and filter function. Okay, if you go to Home, you'll find sort and filter. Now you can sort and filter tasks or numbers as well too. We could sort our list by largest to smallest based on how long it would take to do each job, and I'll demonstrate that now. So I've clicked on the 60 and I've highlighted down. Now I'm going to sort by smallest to largest. There we go. Obviously the cell widths haven't changed, but you can see here we've now gone from smallest to largest. 15, 15, 15, 30, 30, 30, 30, 60, 60, 60. Okay, we can go largest to smallest. 60, 60, 60, 30, 30, 30, 30, 15, 15, 15. Okay, so we can sort in that way as well. We can sort by numbers. If we click on the B and just highlight the jobs, because we only want to sort the jobs. Okay, we don't want to sort. We want to sort them by priority. Okay, and just the jobs. We don't need to include the heading title or our total column. So we can sort it by A to Z. Okay, and when we sort it by A to Z, you'll notice that it goes A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then B, and then C. Okay, we can sort it the other way. We can sort it Z to A, and it'll be C, B, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, please.
But we want to go A to Z. So please now highlight your jobs and sort them from A to Z. Do not worry about these here. Don't worry about these here and what you can and can't see. We will modify that in a moment. So please sort based on the priority. So click on the priority, make sure you highlight from that first column A2 down and sort A to Z, please. All right, let's move on to our next aspect. Once you've sorted that, we can cross that out. Okay. Two last things to do is finish going through the style guide and the chart. So before we do the chart's going to be the very last thing that we do. I'm going to go through the final components, or the final highlighted components of the style guide. I'm also going to use my best judgment to create a spreadsheet that is appealing and easy to read. Now this is something that it's never going to tell you in the task sheet how to make it look good. It's never going to tell you in the style guide how to make it look good. This is up to you and your discretion, but we'll get to that. Alright, so 3.6, I'll zoom in. Numbers within body cells to be aligned right. So that first one there, numbers within body cells to be aligned right. So currently all of our numbers are aligned to the left. All of our numbers are aligned to the left. So I'm going to change that alignment. And I will move the numbers to the to the right. Okay. So I'll cross that one off our style guide. We've done that one. We've aligned all of our numbers to the right. Okay, next one. All figures are to be formatted in accounting style. Cents should not be displayed unless the value of data shown is under $1,000. Subtotals and totals should include dollar signs, and totals must have a top and double bottom border. All right, these 2 points here, 3.6.1 and 3.6.2. These points do not apply to us in this case because we are not dealing with any monetary value. We are dealing with minutes. We are dealing with minutes, not any form of or any value of money. Okay, so these 2 points do not apply to us. They do not apply to us. They will, and I'll give you the heads up for our next task, task 3. They will apply to project 3, task 3, because there is money. No, sorry, not task 3, task 4. Task 4, they will apply there. Okay. 3.6.3, totals must have a top and double bottom border. So we do have a total in this one. While it is not a monetary value, it is still a total, and we need to give it a top and double bottom border. So the same as what you do like in maths, you give a double bottom border, and I'll fix up the borders too. We've already given it a top border, but we can give it a double bottom. So to do that, we click on the cell, we go up to borders, and we can click on the double top and double bottom border function. Okay, so it's in, we select the cell D12 and go to top and double bottom border. And you'll see if we zoom in, I'll go in a bit closer, that we've now got a double bottom border. Something we also need to do is get rid of this row 13. These borders here are not needed. I did say in earlier videos, I said to go down to row 13, but it turns out that it is not needed. It is in no way, shape or form needed. So to get rid of this, I'm just going to delete the whole entire row, and that will get rid of that formatting. So select the row, select the whole row by clicking on 13, and right click delete, and notice that that gets rid of that formatting, it gets rid of that empty row, and we can clearly see our double bottom border. So go back to our style guide now and cross that out. We've done that one. We'll leave the chart one, that's going to be the very last thing we do. I'm going to prepare this table, or this job planner now. We're going to make it look good. Okay, we're going to prepare it for printing. So spreadsheets, this last one here, spreadsheets when printed must be done so considering conservation of resources. However, print size should not be unreadable. So what this means is conservation of resources. If we were to print it, the resource we would use is paper. We want to conserve paper. Okay, so conserving paper obviously means trying to keep this to one page, right? But I'm also going to modify to ensure that it looks good on the page. So some of the things that we're going to do now in order to make this readable, viewable and printable is we're going to adjust the rows and column sizes, and we're going to adjust it so that we try and get it to fit on the entire page, the whole page. Okay, so we're not wasting any paper, or we're not wasting any space. When you format any table, whether it's in Word or Excel, you want the rows and the columns to be as even as possible. As even as possible. Okay, so right now we've got a really skinny column here at the top, called the beginning, called priority, and we've got it gets progressively bigger, and then really big. These two are quite big. Okay, we need to make them as even as possible, as even as possible. So this can take some adjusting for yourself. Okay, so you need to adjust this as best you can. Be very small and do little tiny adjustments. Do not do huge adjustments, do little pieces at a time. That way if you don't like what you've done, so say for instance I do this, and I go, oh I don't like that, I can then just hit the undo button, okay? Or press Control Z. If I press Control Z on my keyboard, okay, it'll undo. So do little things at a time, little things so that you can undo them, okay, as you go. So I'm going to adjust my spreadsheet now. I want you to begin adjusting the same. Obviously, I'm sure yours does not look exactly like this. So your adjustments may be different, they may differ. But the concept of keep the cells even. Okay, even. Okay, we're going to go for even rows, even columns. Okay, as best we can, Okay, so I'm going to start. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to increase the size of this. Okay, and I'm going to highlight these 4 cells, and I'm going to wrap the text. Right, I'm going to wrap the text. That way, I can do this. Maybe try to keep it to 2 lines. There we go. Because I don't need, for this one here, time needed for completion, I don't need a big long wide row. So if I wrap the text, I can squeeze this and I can give myself some more room. So I've got a lot more room now. I've got a lot more room to work with. The cell or the column that needs more space is job description. Resources needed can be small, it can be shortened. Okay, alright, it can be shortened quite easily. But job description needs to be increased in size. Okay, we'll make this a little bit bigger too. Can even make the priority a bit bigger just to make it look even. Okay, I'm going to leave my columns like that. Okay. They're not quite even. Okay, actually I might even do, what is this here? This is, if I go to column width, this is 4.18 centimeters. I'm going to make this one and this one the same. Okay, and then I'm going to make these two the same as well. So this one is, let's go with 10. Let's just make it an even 10. And I'm going to make this one an even 10 as well. Still all fits on one page. Cool. So again, what is even can be that we've got this column here is the same as this column here. They're both the same width. Column width. This one's now 4.03. What's this one? 4.03. They're both exactly the same. This column width is 9.68. This column width is 9.68. So they're both, these two are the same, and these two are the same. That is even, okay? We don't need the priority column to be as wide as either of these two. We don't need the time taken or the time needed for completion to be as wide as these two either, okay? All right, I'm adjusting that column, that row to be that height, that certain height. Now, I need to adjust these rows here and try and make them as even as possible. Now the row with the most text in it, is this row 10 here. This row 10 here. This is the biggest, has the most amount of information in it. So what I want is I want to go to row height. It is 2.62. I'll see if 2.5 will work. 2.5 still fits. I'm going to reduce the size of this just a little bit more. Let's go 2.2. Okay, I might reduce it just a tiny little bit more. Let's go let's just go 2. Okay, we can still read everything and everything still fits inside. So let's go to 2.0. Okay, it's gone to 1.98 centimeters. It must do some automatic adjustment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make all the other rows the exact same height, and that way they'll all be equal and even. So 1.98 centimeters. So highlighting from row 2 down to row 12, and I'm going to change that. Your figure might be different. There we go. I've pressed OK on that. All right. If I zoom out, okay, it's changed a little bit. Okay. Okay, it's changed a little bit. In that it's not taking up the whole entire page now. It's adjusted it, but I will want to. If I just delete those at all, yeah, let me just move them. Okay. We'll continue to modify from here. Okay. I'll just zoom back in. All right. Using some other features. All right. So we've made our modifications. I've made my modifications. What I want to do now is these three columns here, E, F, and G, they've crept onto the page. I don't want them on this page. What I'm going to do now is highlight all of it, and I'm going to go to page setup, and I'm going to do what's called set print area. Okay, I'm going to set the print area. Once I set the print area, I change my scale, and I get it to fit 1 to 1 page wide.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Why did it do that?
Thanks for letting me know. I'm sorry.
Okay, if you fit it to 1 page, if you select that, if you fit it to 1 page, okay, you go scale to fit, and you put it to 1 page, what will happen then is when you print preview, when you actually go to print it, you will only get those cells on the page. Okay. And notice how then too it centers everything on the page. It looks like we're missing lines and things like that, but we're not. Okay, we won't be. Okay, when you actually print. So that's the final step you need to do to get it ready for print. So it doesn't matter that these columns are on there. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's that you scale it to fit to 1 page, and it will automatically fit that information onto the 1 page. All right, one last thing that I will mention that you can work with. If you highlight your text, highlight your data, under cells in the home section, there's format, and we can do auto fit as well. Okay, so we can auto fit our rows. All right, that worked okay. All right, to do the auto fit, and we can auto fit our columns, auto fit column widths. Okay, so that's also another way of getting it to fit. That's probably, maybe that display is a little bit better if we highlight the whole lot. we do it that way,
Very eager, you know.
alright, we can get that to fit all onto one page. Alright, however though, it's substantially reduced and we also can't see that there. So while you can use the auto fit, okay, while you can use the auto fit, it may adjust. It may adjust it a little bit awkwardly. So it's potentially something good to do at the very beginning, okay, at the beginning, and then you can modify. You can modify from there. Okay, you can change and adjust from there. So that's also an option for you. Okay. All right, I'll just go back and I'll just modify my cells again to what I had them as before.